window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as
Welcome
bad.
to iStream TV. We are live from Brighton Music Conference from the Audio Mango van, and I am welcoming into our studio Charlie T.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. We could do a bit of sunshine here at the moment. That'd be my one criticism, but otherwise great.
Yeah, the sun is not shining for us at the moment, but it's cosy in the van.
It's very warm.
And we're out of the Brighton breezy.
Yes, exactly. The important stuff.
The Brighton breezy. So, what brings you to the conference this year? How are you participating?
So I'm very busy this year. I've just spoken on the Lady of the House panel. I'm doing another panel in a little bit all about radio with Jay from Radio 1. And then tomorrow we're doing the 30 years of Ram Records panel. And then I'm doing another panel tomorrow with Skiddle talking about more inclusive lineups. And Nathan X from Unorthodox. And I'm playing tonight for the Lady of the House after party.
Busy.
Yeah.
Keeping yourself busy. Is that the way you like it?
I mean, yeah, wouldn't have it any other way. Might try and sneak in a sneaky drink at some point though, because that's, needs to be done.
I just had my first Aperol Spritz. It was good.
Game changer.
Yeah,
they're my favourite.
Yeah, we'll go for an Aperol Spritz afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Straight to the bar.
So tell us, when did you first realise that you wanted to become a DJ?
Oh, that's a very good question. Usually people ask me, when did I become a DJ? So it's nicely asking, when did I want to become a DJ? I think when I probably realised I wanted to do it, but didn't realise it was possible, being a woman at the time I started, was when I watched Chase and Status. I would have been 18 at uni, watching them tour their More Than a Lot album. And yeah, I remember I had this really pivotal moment where I was at the front of the stage and I looked up at them and I was like, that is the best job in the world. Showcasing music to people in a crowd and just feeling the energy, and I was like, I will never do a job that cool. I genuinely thought that at that time. And then some of the guys I used to knock about with at a pub I was working at had decks, and I used to have a go at after parties. They're like, you're crap, get off, you can't beat Matt, she sounds crap. And
get the girl off.
Yeah. And then I actually started presenting on Drum Bass Arena TV, D&B TV, and I was into music that way before I actually started DJing.
Right.
So I'd done a season in Ibiza as well, and again we had decks in the flat, but I tried to DJ and it was like, no, you're crap, don't touch it. And it wasn't until I saw B-Traits playing at Fabric one night and I was like, oh, there's a girl doing it.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
It's not just a boy thing. And it was that moment a couple of years later that I was like,
because there was very few females in the drum and bass scene, wasn't there?
Absolutely, yeah. Growing up you had like Storm, B-Traits, obviously DJ Fly. Yeah, there were very few kind of growing up. It's true what they say, you can't be what you can't see. It really is true.
Yeah. If you can't see anybody doing it, you think, well, that's just not something
just
I
the way
can
of
do.
it. Yeah, there's no room for me, there's no space for me in the scene. So yeah, that's really important.
So what was the first song that made you fall in love with the music?
Oh God, that's such a hard question. I feel like there were so many...
I love hard questions.
Yeah, I know. It's for me as well, because I love so many genres of music. There were so many defining moments where I fell in love with music almost like over and over again. Mm-hmm. So when I used to listen to dance music, when I was my first relationship with dance music, my first moment was, I'm not proud to admit this, no offense against all the trance lovers, but I used to listen to Armin van Buuren's State of Trance podcast, and I had it on, we used to have in our cupboard, we used to have a computer in the cupboard and it was dial-up, and I think I used to maybe rip it illegally online.
We've all done it, don't worry.
Online. And yeah, that was my first sort of, I was like, oh yeah, I'd heard about it and I was like, what is this music? This is great. That was probably like the first point, but where I really, really fell in love with it, probably when I was 18, when I went to uni, like most people, when you're legal to fully go and rave and immerse yourself
and
in
you're
music
allowed to
properly.
go out.
Yeah,
properly.
definitely. Yeah.
And let your hair down.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of a pivotal track. What was my first? Okay, we'll go for the first record I bought. Junior Jack Thrill Me was the first record I bought on vinyl.
Junior Jack Thrill Me, there we have it. Nice, I like that. So what do you love most about being a DJ and what do you dislike about it?
The thing I love the most is sharing music with strangers on a dance floor. Like I would have never met a person, but I'll have already had a full-on conversation with the music, with no words, with the person on the front, and had made a connection, having not said a word to each other or even met. I feel like honestly, music is the most powerful tool in that way. It's magic. There's no other job like it that does that. So that's my favourite thing about being a DJ, showcasing music to people. Least favourite thing, I want to say social media, but I also am aware that social media has helped me a lot in my career. So I want to say sometimes social media when it's forced. Yeah. Social media when it's forced and having to kind of keep appearances when it doesn't feel as authentic and a bit more tiring. I'd say. Yeah.
So basically, music speaks 1,000 words that you wouldn't actually be able to relay to all of those people.
Yeah.
It's a hard one on that with DJing, as there's tough bits, isn't there? And it is hard as well when so many people want to be a DJ, and then somebody goes, "Oh, what's bad about it?" You go, "Oh, I don't want to moan."
Yeah. DJ's complaining.
I don't want to moan. I don't want to be seen moaning. But social media is it's a big thing.
Yeah.
It's very consuming.
Yeah, it is very all-consuming.
And I think it's a tightrope for especially female artists to get that balance on it.
Yeah.
It's very easy to go down a route of flesh sales. Shall we put it like that?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. You don't even have to say it. I knew where you were going before you even had to point it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not what the music's about.
Yeah.
And I'm an ex-pastry model. I was a pastry model 25
really?
years ago.
Nice.
So I know how sex sells, how pictures work, how all of that kind of thing works. But I think it's very important for girls that are coming through into the industry, and I get, and I'm sure you do all the time, as you are with the panel, encouraging more females into the business. And having been in it for 25 years, of course, I want more females, and so it can be very testosterone fueled at times. And but with the female, so I see a lot of people that can be kind of manipulated into doing the kind of stuff on social media that maybe they're not actually that comfortable about. And it, whether it be the record company or I'll do this because that's going to get lots of likes, that's going to get lots of attention. Tell us about how your social media works, because being on Radio 1, you're always going to have that kind of attention, and being a female and a DJ, tell us how it works for you, how you manage it, and how you manage the kind of decisions that you're going to make of what you're going to put on your social media, and how your influence.
So I've only kind of been on Radio 1 since August last year, like covering, and I don't, to be honest with you, I had, because someone that's been in the industry for 10 years now, I had the opposite effect when I started, because there are a lot more females now, maybe there is more pressure to dress a certain way. When I started, I found that I went in the opposite direction. I found myself having to wear baggy t-shirts to be taken seriously, because I didn't want to wear any clothes that could be seen as revealing, because I thought it might take away from my skill set and my ability. So and I've spoken to so many other women that DJ'd around the same time that felt exactly the same way. So I think I came from an era when it was too far the other way.
Right, yeah.
But
that's interesting.
So now I'm actually enjoying that I can be more feminine and dress authentically to how I would dress outside of a DJ set. Having more women in the scene is great, because it means with more women on the lineup, you're not just going to be highlighted and you're not going to stand out. So I do feel like, I don't think, for me personally, I've never felt pressure to dress a certain way. I think if I post, what is like scantily clad to people now? I don't know, like a strappy top. Like how far does it go?
You can go down that route all day long. Is that a bit too much cleavage?
Yeah.
Is that
I think it is down to the individual to kind of decide that for themselves. If you are doing something in your head because you think that's what people want to see and you're doing it for the right reasons, that's damaging for your mental health. However, if you are, I don't know, there's the other way where people are like on a beach on holiday, they're in a bikini, they've just posted. It's like, well, they're on the beach on holiday in a place where people are all dressed like that.
Exactly.
I think there's context to certain things.
I think that's a really important point.
Yeah.
It's what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
So as long as you're very happy with what you're doing,
Yeah.
and somebody, you're not going, oh, I don't really want to do that, but that person says that it might be a good idea.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's your mental health.
Yeah.
It's what you're comfortable with, and as long as you're doing what you're comfortable with, then it doesn't matter what anybody else says on Instagram, Facebook, wherever it might be.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you're happy.
Yeah. Then
what does it matter after that?
Yeah.
I think that's a really empowering and important part of it. It's your life, so you do what you want to do.
Yeah, as long as you're not being I think that's the bottom line. If you ever feel coerced or forced into behaving a way that's not authentic to you yourself or how you would portray yourself professionally, that's where the line is. That's where it's wrong. Yeah, that's what I think. And I think, do you know what, with the new generation that are coming in, like Gen Z and onwards, I think they're really good at that. They're really good at being comfortable in their authentic selves to a certain degree, because we've got these filters and things now. So what really is your authentic self? This is still this constant argument. But yeah, I feel like they are in a much better place than the new women coming through that I meet that are DJs are a lot more confident than I was when I started. But maybe that's because there's more women and we rally together and we do pep talk each other a lot more. We do support each other. So it's I don't know whether it's just that generation or they've had more females to look up to, more representation to make them feel more accepted in the scene. It's a catch-22 really.
It is, but I think you're right. There is, even though it is still male dominated, there's no two ways about that. I've had quite a few ladies in the van today already, and I definitely see an awful lot more females and stronger females coming through the industry. I think it's really interesting what you said about, so whether it has been, I've got to dress down to fit in, or I've got to dress up to fit in, or whichever of those it is, it can be really hard because the media can kind of try to dictate as to what is selling right now, or what's that's fashion or that style. Being unique and individual as an artist, I think is the key really, to be able to kind of move away from all of that furor and influence, and because it can get very difficult to deal with, can't it? And I see a lot of and it's not just females, obviously we're two women talking here, but for the guys as well, most of my experience has been looking after male DJs, and for the guys of the influence of how they've got to be and how they...
That's interesting, because that's a side that obviously we don't hear enough about. We actually just talked about this on the panel. Connie from Fuga was talking about the fact that her job now is she's going through like all the press photos, and she said there's a remarkable difference between the guys that are in like black jeans, black t-shirt, like just doing a serious face, and the women, it's like the makeup, the hair, the clothes, and there is a remarkable difference between how we have to brand and market ourselves. I mean, when I go on stage, the music takes precedence, and that's the important bit, but I also wouldn't go on stage not having picked something that makes me feel confident, because if I don't walk on feeling confident, then that's my... Yeah,
you're not going to go in your like pajamas or
something. Exactly. But then that's maybe that's down to me and my self-esteem and meaning to work on it. But maybe it's from years of having to feel like I had to prove myself in a male-dominated arena. Maybe that mindset's still in there. Like I still have to kind of prove myself a little bit, or prove why I have to be here, and maybe that's the way I look, and it's that external validation.
Sometimes, we're not, there's always going to be a bit of that. And there is that conforming, or as an artist, I'm going to be free to express myself in the way that I want to. On the era I came from was a it was very flamboyant part of the dance music scene. You used to have to really dress up to go out. To get in, you had to really, really dress up.
Really?
there was a lot of DJs that it was a very, very flamboyant scene. Kind of 19. I'll show me age now. So 1995 was kind of my heyday.
Okay.
A very handbag house time at that point, and it was a
What,
real.
like, people wearing heels, handbags, like?
So handbag house
What
was
does
the
that
term
mean?
of the genre.
Right,
It
okay.
was kind of a bit cheesier,
Right, yeah,
uplifting house. But on that scene at that point was very glam.
Right.
Really, really glam. And everybody really, really dressed up to go out. And, I love that
Yeah.
part. And as a female, I don't know about you, but I love dressing up.
Yeah. Oh no, I do. I that's not to say I don't love it. Of course I do. But
And
yeah.
but I love dressing up. I also like, to be able to have the casual day, you know, and it's having the freedom to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's the choice. It's
Yeah.
not having the expectation. It's if I want to do it. In the same way that if you were going to go down the pub with mates one day, that's a choice. If you're going to go out on a night out, it's a choice. It's I was actually completely different sex. I was chatting to my mum recently about this, and we were talking about professional workplaces and how at her work women are expected to wear makeup and heels. And it's this society. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's kind of it. Okay, well,
Is there a uniform?
yeah, like
Yeah.
that essentially is not for all female identifying and non-binary artists, but it's. I could turn up with no makeup on and no one to bat an eyelid, but I don't know. It's still the sense of it's a performance, isn't it? Really, it's.
I think when we're, at the end of the day, we're in dance music culture, and we should be free to be who we want to be, and show that. And I think that's an important part of the music, the artistic expression, and the individuality as to, how we remember people and how they stick out and keep in our minds as things go on. So tell me, what is your favourite track on your USB right now? Can you pick one?
So hard. What is my favourite track on my USB right now? Let's do a bit of shameless label plugging. So in a record label and do the next track that's coming out. It's by Dark Arts Club and an artist called Shania, and it's called Runaway.
Say it again.
Dark
Tell
Arts
everybody.
Club and Shania, and it's called Runaway. Shameless plug
go.
for the label. There you go.
What piece of advice would you give to anyone trying to make a career in music today?
Oh,
One
okay.
piece.
Don't take everything that people tell you as advice too personally. I think when I first started out, I found growing a thick skin really difficult.
Right.
I used to take quite a lot of things personally, particularly being in radio. When you do a demo, it's like you are your personality on radio. If someone's like, didn't like that, it's, they don't like me.
Yeah, you put yourself out there and they're like, no, I don't like that.
And I think that's the same with, obviously I do produce, but I haven't put anything out. But for producers that, seasoned producers, I think they all kind of say the same, because especially when they give a real piece of emotive music to a label, they're giving a piece of their heart and their soul essentially. And when someone goes, I don't really like it. Try not. I know it's difficult. Try not to take things personally.
Yeah.
Music is very subjective. So just because one person won't like it doesn't mean another person won't love it.
Exactly.
So just keep going, keep trying, and you will find your place within the scene wherever it is and whatever it is.
Yeah, that's really, really good advice. Constructive criticism is something that you do have to learn as an artist.
It's hard, but you get
because
there.
it is really hard. And like you said, you can go, I spent all this time on this most amazing track, and you send it out to your favourite DJ, and if you do get their feedback, they go, no, not for me.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah, it's deflating. It's hard. I've had it. I've sent demos off for years, and it's been no's. And but the one thing I will say is, like, the thing that I hope I've got better at as I've got older is just with every knockback, there's a lesson to be learned, and as long as you learn from it, and you use it as an opportunity to learn from it, then you will succeed and you'll get further. You'll progress.
Exactly. And when you get that yes, with that 100 no's, you'll be forgotten.
Yeah, 100%. It absolutely will, and it is.
It is, and
yeah.
it does. Totally work like that. Anything else you'd like to share with us today? Anything else you'd like to tell everyone?
Well, I guess just that I've got a record label called Total Records. You can find it on Instagram. Check out the releases on there. It's a multi-genre label. Looking for more women producers on the label, please.
Come on, ladies, where are you?
And non-binary artists, all inclusive. We love everybody. Please hit me up with your good tunes.
Amazing. So last but not least, we have a quick fire round for you.
Go on then.
A short quick fire round. Are we ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay. House or techno?
Techno.
Edam or Stilton?
Edam.
Red or blue pill?
I don't know why, but blue.
Have you seen The Matrix?
Yeah, I have. Oh, the blue. Yeah, because you go down the Matrix if you take the blue one, right?
Depends where you want to go, mate.
I can't remember the film. We'll go. Is that the right answer? There you go.
There is no right answer.
Okay, right. I can't
It is
remember.
up to you,
Okay.
but we'll take it as you can't remember.
I
which
like the
one
colour
does
blue,
which.
so that's probably why I went for it. Yeah.
Love or money?
Love.
Johnny or Amber?
I cannot comment. I'm not commenting.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You don't have to comment. City or countryside?
City.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Glastonbury or Burning Man?
Let's go Glasgow. Keep it in the UK.
Ant or Deck?
Deck? That's a very good question. They're not the same person, pretty much. They're always together.
Slow and soft or hard and fast?
Oh my god. Let's hard and fast music. Let's go with the music. On the
Small
music.
dirty. I didn't say what you're referring to.
I'm interpreting.
Small dirty rave or big shiny festival?
Oh, small dirty Ray all day.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Mods or rockers?
Rockers.
Vinyl or digital?
Oh, they're both different. They're both. I'm an avid vinyl collector, so let's go with vinyl just for the art.
And last but not least, obey the rules or fuck the police.
I work for the BBC, so I'm going to say obey the rules. Obey the rules.
And there you have it. Thank you very much, Charlie.
You're welcome.
I really
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody that's listening. We'll be back in around about 15-20 minutes for the last interview of the day with Carly Wilford.
I want you to get up.